Hello dear students, welcome to Tejomaya YouTube channel. In this video, I am going to teach you some of the most important concepts from the chapter Moving Charges and Magnetism. Firstly in that, I am going to teach you the force acting on a charged particle moving in magnetic field. Secondly, I am going to explain you the force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in magnetic field. Thirdly, I am going to explain you the Ampere's circuital law and its statement. And lastly, I am going to teach you one of the most important derivation for 5 mark for the board examination from this chapter, Moving Charges and Magnetism. Especially I am telling this for second PUC students. That is the force between two parallel conductors carrying current in different directions. Okay. So without wasting time, let me start the video. So first we have the force acting on a charged particle moving in magnetic field. Okay. Dear students, we have already learnt about the force experienced by a charged particle placed in or moving in magnetic field, that is given by F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q1 Q2 by R square, that is also called Coulomb's force. Here the field is not electric field but the magnetic field. Let me consider the uniform magnetic field here. So these equidistant parallel lines represent the uniform magnetic field, and let us consider a charge which is moving with a velocity v in magnetic field, making an angle theta with it. Now the force experienced by the charged particle moving in magnetic field with a velocity v and making an angle theta with it is given by F is equal to Q V B sin theta. Q is charge of the charged particle. If I consider Q is charge of the charged particle, so what is that? Then V, velocity with which it is moving. Magnetic field strength. Theta is the angle between direction of charged particle in which it is moving and direction of magnetic field. In vector form, we can also write this as F is equal to charge into V cross B. So this is in vector form. Here you need to observe one thing, that if the charge is at rest, here charge value is E, Q is equal to V, so I can write F is equal to E into V cross B. Yes or no, dear students? If in case charge is at rest, Q is at rest, charge is at rest, then what happens? What will the force experienced by charged particle? F is equal to charge. If charge is at rest, velocity becomes 0. Then velocity becomes 0. So the force experienced by the charged particle will also be 0. Okay. Secondly, one more thing. If the charged particle is moving parallel to the magnetic field, then theta value is 0 or 180 degree. Then sine 0 or 180 degrees again 0. Then also the force experienced by that in this special case is also 0. Means you need to know one thing, that if the charge is placed in magnetic field or moving parallel to the magnetic field, then the force experienced by the charged particle will be minimum or 0. Okay, I hope this concept is very clear to all of you. Let us move on to the next concept. So next we have the force experienced by a conductor which is carrying current placed in magnetic field. Let me write the question or the heading here. The force experienced by a current carrying straight conductor placed in magnetic field. The force experienced by a straight conductor which is carrying current, and it is placed in magnetic field, not the electric field. Again, okay. If I consider a conductor which is not carrying current placed in magnetic field, then the force experienced by it is 0. Because here, if I consider this is a conductor which is placed in magnetic field, will it experience any force? No. There should be charges flowing through it. So here, let me consider uniform magnetic field represented by equidistant parallel lines. Then we have a conductor placed in it whose cross-sectional area is A. Whose cross-sectional area is A and whose length is L. Then this volume is given by what? This cross-sectional area A into L. Can I write like that? And secondly, let us consider the direction of current is like this, I, making an angle theta with magnetic field. Now we need to calculate the total force acting on it. Very simple. We have already studied the force acting on a single charge, that is QVB sin theta. Then if we know the number of charges moving through it, magnetic field will not affect the conductor. It affects the charges flowing through it. So how many charges are flowing through it? Let us consider N. Then the total force acting on the conductor is equal to N times force on each particle, charged particle moving in it, in the direction of current. So here N can also be written as small n into V, and force can also be written as QVB sin theta, where N is total number of charges, small n is number density of charges. Means what? If I consider small volume, okay, so the number of charged particle per given volume is called number density, into total volume V will give you the total number of charges. Then the force experienced by each particle that we have just studied, that is QVB sin theta. Now simplifying this further gives N as it is. What is V? V is the volume that is given by A into L. Let me write AL. And Q, if I consider small charge E in it, E is flowing through it, Q value will be E V B sin theta. So here I write E N A V separately. Write V first, E N A V now separately, and L B sin theta. So I think or I hope you know this formula. V N A or N E A V D is nothing but the current. I is equal to N E A V D, V or V D, that is called drift velocity or velocity of the charge particle with which the charges drift through the conductor. So in place of V N A V now or N E A V D, N E A V, we can write I. So F is equal to I L B sin theta. So this is the total force acting on the conductor placed in magnetic field, and that conductor is carrying current making an angle theta in the direction, making an angle theta with the magnetic field. So in order to remember this in a very easy way, I write this as BIL sin theta. Bil sin theta. So force acting on a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field making an angle theta whose length is L and in which current flowing is I, then the magnitude of force acting on it is given by Bil sin theta. Bil sin theta. I hope this one is clear to you. We'll move on to next concept, that is Ampere's circuital law. Okay, let me write the statement first. Ampere's circuital law. Okay, so to understand this, you need to have a straight conductor carrying current. Okay, if a straight conductor carrying current in this direction, then from right hand thumb rule, we know that direction of magnetic field will be like this. Yes or no? So the magnetic field around it will be in this direction. So here I have considered one magnetic field line. Magnetic field line. Here at this particular point, the magnetic field line will be in this direction. And second thing, if I consider a small length element of this magnetic field line dl, that is also in the direction of magnetic field, then the angle between these two is BDL. So now this statement is like this. Ampere's circuital law states that the line integral of magnetic field, the line integral of magnetic field around a current carrying conductor, around a current carrying conductor is equal to mu naught, it's a constant, times the current flowing through the conductor. So mathematically we can write this one as B dl integral, because here we have the line integral of magnetic field is equal to mu naught times the total current flowing through the conductor, means I. So this is the mathematical form of that. So this is a statement: line integral of magnetic field is equal to mu naught times total current flowing through it is this. Okay. So if I solve this further, here if I consider the magnetic field at this particular point in the circular path, so let us consider this is a circular path of radius r. Okay. Here, if it is circular, this side also it will be r, circular path r. So I can take this b outside because at that particular point magnetic field will be constant. So if you know the integration better, you can understand this well. Okay. Now integral dl is equal to mu naught times current. We also know that the line integral of dl can also be written as dl, means it is the sum of all small elements on it. So it gives the circumference. What is the formula for circumference? 2 pi r. Here the radius is r. So this can also be written as 2 pi r is equal to mu naught times I. So here this dl is small length element. So summation of all small dl's will give you the circumference. Actually it will be like this. So it is a circle whose circumference is 2 pi r. Now this b is given by 2 pi r will come this side, 1 over 2 pi r will write here mu naught I. Or we can also write like this: b is equal to mu naught by 4 pi. Mu naught by 4 pi. Sir, we don't have 4 here, we have 2. I have multiplied it. So I have to multiply it to numerators also. So 2I by r. Can I write like that? Mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 2I by r will give the same thing. If we cancel 2, we'll get the same thing. So I just change it like this, because we know the value of mu naught by 4 pi is equal to 10 to the power minus 7 Tesla meter per ampere. Okay, directly we can substitute. So the expression for magnetic field produced due to straight conductor at a perpendicular distance r is given by, at this particular point magnetic field is given by mu naught by 4 pi 2I by r. Mu naught by 4 pi is 10 to the power minus 7 2. If the current is 2 ampere into 2 divided by distance is 2 meters divided by 2, that will give you the magnetic field in Tesla. Clear? I hope this one is clear to you. Okay, dear students, next we have one more concept, that is force between two parallel straight conductors carrying current, which is very important for 5 marks, second PC board examination. Here we have considered two figures. In first figure we have two conductors P and Q, and in the same way we have two conductors in a second figure also. So here the direction of currents are in the same direction, here the direction is opposite. Then, so what will be the magnitude of force experienced by both the conductors? Will they attract or repel? So what is the magnitude? Second one, in which direction they experience force, that also matters, and that we need to explain. In order to explain this, we need to know three main things. One is the formula for force experienced by a charged conductor placed in magnetic field. Okay, so that is F is equal to Bill sin theta, that we have just studied in this video. Secondly, we have the formula for magnetic field produced by straight conductor, that is mu naught by 4 pi 2I divided by R. That also we have studied from Ampere circuit law. And thirdly, we have direction of force is given by Fleming's left hand rule. Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, if you have not studied this, just to go through the notes once. Okay, just study this Fleming's left hand rule. Here I will just give brief explanation for that. According to Fleming's left hand rule, you have to stretch the first 3 fingers of left hand in such a way that they are mutually perpendicular to each other. Then, if 4 fingers shows the direction of magnetic field, central finger shows the direction of current, means here the conductor is like this, in which the current is flowing in this direction, and that is placed in the magnetic field. Then the force experienced by this conductor will be upward, means along the thumb. Thumb gives the direction of magnetic force, direction of magnetic field, direction of current, direction of force. Means if you put one conductor which is carrying current in this direction, in magnetic field in this direction, then it experiences force in this direction. Okay. Now here, according to right hand thumb rule, the direction of magnetic field produced around this will be like this. Okay, so the magnetic field produced due to first conductor at this particular point, which is at a distance, let us consider the distance between 2 conductors is d. Okay, here direction of magnetic field produced will be like this, into the plane of the bore. Let me write like this. This is the magnetic field produced due to first conductor at this particular point. That will into the plane of the bore, and in that site we have placed the second conductor Q. In the same manner, the second conductor also produces magnetic field, so that will be like this. So at this particular point, direction of magnetic field will be outwards. So let me write like this. So this is the direction of magnetic field due to second one. So the force acting on the second conductor due to the magnetic field produced by first conductor will be like this. So direction of magnetic field according to Fleming's left hand rule, direction of magnetic field, direction of current upwards. So force experience is along the thumb, means left side. So the force experienced by second conductor will be F2. Due to, let me consider this I1, this I2. Then the force experienced by P due to the magnetic field produced due to Q is given by, see, direction of magnetic field is outwards, direction of current is upwards, then force will be left side, means the force on P due to the force on first conductor due to second conductor will be in this direction. Similarly, here the magnetic field produced due to P at this particular point will be like this, because direction of current is like this. So direction of magnetic field will be like this. So it is like this. B1. Then magnetic field produced due to Q at this side will be, so since the direction of magnetic field is like this, direction of current is like this, let me consider this I2, this I1. So it is like this. So direction of direction of magnetic field will be into the plane of the bore. I have written like this. Do you understand this step by step? Now direction of force on Q and P will be, so direction of magnetic field into the plane of the bore, direction of current downwards, so force will be away from it. Force on second conductor. Then here, direction of magnetic field, direction of current, direction of force left side. Means, if the two conductors are carrying current in the same direction, they attract each other. And if two conductors carrying current in opposite direction, they repel each other. Okay. Now we have written, I have explained you the direction of magnetic force. What is the formula, magnitude of magnetic force? Let me explain that. here in both the cases, okay, F2 or F1 is given by Bill sin theta. Similarly, F2 is also given by Bill sin theta, that I will write later. So magnitude of force acting on first conductor due to second conductor will be given by magnetic field produced by second conductor. Current flowing in it is I1 and L is the length of the conductor, L only. Sin theta, angle between magnetic field and length of the conductor, that is 90 degree. Here direction of magnetic field is into the plane of the pole and conductor is like this, angle will be 90 degree. So here we write sin 90. So here this F1 is given by B2, there is a formula for that, mu naught by 4 pi I2, 2 times I2 divided by R is the distance between the two conductors, that is small d, into I1 into L, sin 90 is 1. So F1 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 times I1 I2 divided by D into L. Similarly, let me calculate the force acting on the second conductor due to the magnetic field produced by first conductor, that is F2. Force on second conductor. Here we have from first conductor. So that is also Bill sin theta. Bill sin theta. So force on second conductor is due to the magnetic field of first conductor, and current flowing through the second conductor is I2, L sin 90 again. Theta is the angle between B and L. B is outwards. Here B1, right? B1 is inwards and length of the conductor is like this. So angle between those two is 90 degree again. So here F2 is given by B1 is given by same mu naught by 4 pi I1 by 2 I1 by D. This is B1 and I2 as it is, length L, sin 90 is 1. So F2 is equal to mu naught by 4 pi 2 times I1 I2 divided by D into L. Means the force acting on first conductor due to second conductor is this. The force acting on second conductor due to first conductor is this. If lengths are same, magnitudes of force is also same. Okay. So here F1 is equal to F2 if lengths are same. And then the force per unit length means F1 by L or F2 by L is given by F is equal to, if L comes this side, so we will write mu naught by 4 pi 2 I1 I2 divided by D. Okay. So this is all about this video, dear students. So day by day, video by video, I am going to develop myself and increase the quality of video, dear students. These videos are really going to help the second PUC students all over the world, or all over the country, all over the state, all over the village, wherever it may be, wherever the students are watching from. This video is really going to help most of the students. If I want to change any, or if you want me to change any content explanation or quality of video, so please do let me know. Let me know in the comment section. I'll change it. So if you feel it is very useful to you for your examination or for any competitive exams, please do share with your friends. I'm not asking you to support me, but it feels good if I get to know that this content is really helpful to the people. Okay, thank you so much. We'll meet you in the next video.